What if there was a friend in your life that said, "Do you want to be with me? If you want to be with me, I will give you everything." Wouldn't that be so great? Wouldn't that be wonderful? There actually is. And that's God. That's the love wanting to connect with you 100% as you choose to surrender, as you choose to give up all of the struggles, all of the fights, and come to God, which is not a one-time thing. A friendship is a relationship. So if you want to partner up with the source, with God, which is the best friend you could ever have, always forgiving, always supporting, always in adoration of you, always praising you, and always wanting to give you everything, and also has the possibility to give you everything, then you need to have a relationship which is connection. And if you do not believe in God, believe in love, because God is love, then you will have to rely on another source, which is the material, and that is rough. What connects you initially is hope. It is like you can be in a complete disbelief, then there is no connection to love. And then you have hope, which makes you and God kind of see each other. And then you can have a strong belief that brings you really close. And then you can have faith, which is just faith in God, that you are carried in the hands of universal love that will solve everything for you, that puts you can be put in any situation that seems like this is never gonna work out, and it actually won't when you rely on the material source. But as you rely on the truth, the ultimate reality, true love, love is truth, then it works out. It is just like you ask for being in a good spot, asking for more. That's the same being in complete shit, asking for a release. To God, there is no difference. God doesn't evaluate, calculate, and see that, well, this person is about to get out of a hellhole, and this person is about to receive a promotion at their job while living a joyful life otherwise. There is God doesn't do that. It is we, as human beings, who do that. We put ourselves in situations, in boxes of conditioning, all in perception of this is how it is, and this is attainable, and this is not attainable, and I can only achieve so much in relation to where I am, and all of this. It is just a perception based upon experience, based upon what is most likely to happen, which is all in relation to previous experiences and also in relation to previous experience, but as others have portrayed for us. As we have seen that this human being has gone through this and came to this situation, and when they got out of it, they had to go through these steps to come to a place of satisfaction from being in a hellhole or whatever. But it's all a perception thing, as to come from some form of standard of things, of how things are supposed to play out, how connections are supposed to happen, how all kinds of opportunities and experiences unfold and develop in the world, just as any habitual memory. But it's when you have faith, and when you are praying, and when you don't give up, and you stay connected to the most giving and most loving friend in the universe, like God, mountains can be moved. And please don't go out and put a camera to see if Mount Everest is moving. This is a figure of speech. This is a metaphor. Because anything can happen. Anything can happen at any time, in any way, as you stay connected to the right source, as you have faith in your universal, forever forgiving, forever giving best friend. I have seen this. I have seen this myself, as in it's guidelines, it's guidance coming, it's divine guidance, and it's subtle. But if you are aware and attentive to take notice of what is going on in your life, as in relation to what am I feeling, what is my current state. Because I have been in such darkness, riding outside on my bike, just going somewhere, just to move the energy and just to change places and everything. And then it's so dark inside of myself. Even it's summertime and a blue sky and the sun is shining. And then I meet somebody that I recognize. And I feel joy meeting that person. Like, hey. So I smile. And after I've done that, I can get a text. I can get it. Things happen like that. It can be the most ridiculous things. Like I have a stick in the wheel of my bike that makes a noise, and I would like a solution for that because I don't see it and it's making a noise, and I can't adjust it because I can't see it. So I have to ride around with that sound. And then all of a sudden, this kind of event happens, and that twig or whatever it is inside the wheel of my bike falls out at the exact same moment. It is astounding, and nothing is coincidence in life. And this is just, if you say that, well, that's a pretty crazy idea with the bike there and that timing, but that's just one story out of 300. If you are aware and if you see things happening as to your general state of feeling connection to love and not being in worry and doubt, you will send that out and things will come to you that are helping you because you are helping yourself as you stay connected to the source that gives you everything. And I've seen celebrities, I won't mention because there has been, I don't know the details, but I have seen and read about cases with celebrities that have done the most obvious things that should have put them in jail, but it didn't. That also have a deep friendship with the best friend in the universe. So I'm not saying to be connected to God and do whatever you want to do is destructive. I don't know the details of things that have happened, but I know that they should have been caught and should have been put in jail and should have served time for very destructive acts, but didn't, because they are so in faith. Because God doesn't judge. You judge yourself. And I believe if you do whatever and you feel like you are free, you are not judging yourself, then you walk free. But I believe that if you feel that you are judging yourself and you feel like you are guilty of something, you walk free, but you might develop like a tumor or some other disease because you are in conflict and you're not free for real inside yourself. But if you confess shit inside you to God, God forgives you. God sets you free because God has already forgiven you. You are already forgiven for anything you've ever made as a mistake, because it is a mistake. And a friend of unconditional love always sees every action as a mistake because they have such a grand perspective that they forgive everything because they see so many complex things of emotions, thoughts, comprehensions, interpretations, pressure, frustration, reaction, action, consequence, stress, moving too fast. And that's what makes it forgivable. Because we do crazy things trying to handle life with too much pressure when we're not ready, when we're in the position of, it's like a 3-year-old that is given the responsibility to handle 200 employees at a company doing well. And you put that responsibility on that 3-year-old, like with all that serious responsibility. Like that 3-year-old is gonna end up laying in a corner somewhere, turned off, psychologically disabled, and not wanting to be a part of this world anymore. And that's what happens to a grown-up, an adult body as well, if there is trauma that has been inflicted on that person when they were 3, and that has not been actually understood. So everything happening over the years becomes being the president of that company, handling all these employees with all that pressure. But the employees and the pressure might be to vacuum their own apartment, or doing the dishes, or maybe cleaning themselves as to take a shower. It's a lot of pressure just to take care of themselves. It got a bit sidetracked here from the initial. But the thing is that when you end up there, you are in need. You are in need of support. You are in need of care. And that can go on forever if you don't start to care for yourself. And the way to do that is to be true, and it is to be connected to love within yourself, to live your life in faith to the source, the universal unconditional love that gives you and helps you and develops you and supports you wherever you are, and makes things happen wherever you are, whatever you need. The next answer you are about to receive is in relation to where you are. The next step in your development is the next step in your development. It is where you are. That's just the way it is. You can't go up the stairs of development, step 1, 2, 3, 14, 18, 32. It's not gonna happen. Because it becomes too much. It becomes too much pressure and it doesn't hold up. You are not gonna hold up. I have not held up over the years. I have tried to skip and ignore what's actually inside me, in trauma, in negative convictions, not keeping any connection to God, no faith at all, which has just sent me down a black hole. It's just the way it is. What makes me return again and again and again, that makes me develop and makes things turn around, is my humility, which is nowhere to be attained. It is a relationship. It is relating humble to everything in life. Return to humility. That's what solves everything. Because humility and gratitude is all about not fighting. It is all about returning to innocence and connection with God, with Source, with universe inside your heart. And then you will get solutions and guidance as to where you are from your best friend in the whole wide everything. Even though I am where I am right now, I can still give a tip to somebody if somebody would watch this video. I record these videos mainly for myself. And that is, as you lay in darkness and dark thoughts of doubt are consuming you, you are allowing that to happen. I know it seems like you don't have a choice, but you have. You can put your hands together and you can affirm love, thank love, praise love, call it God, Source, universe, whatever, just to ignite the light within you and connect to your best friend, connect to God. And it becomes brighter as you do so, because your best friend, who's unconditional love, who wants to be with you, who wants to connect with you as much as possible all the time, who wants and has the capability to give you everything, needs to be acknowledged. Because it's like a ghost friend. It is something that is not visible, it is spirit. And that needs to be in a material world, living as a human being, having a human experience, needs to be acknowledged, or else it doesn't exist. And the more you exist it, the more you acknowledge it, the more it exists. So there is no greater friend. There is no deviousness, there is no stick in the wheel, there is no like, yeah, I'm gonna bring you close and then I'm gonna fool you. I had you fooled. You thought you were gonna get everything, but yeah, you're not. You can trust. There is not a negative part, any evil, any deviousness, not anything when it comes to unconditional love. All of those things don't even exist there. So there is no possibility or option to choose that, because it doesn't exist. It's just pure loving, unconditional, conscious love that wants to give you everything as you stay connected and acknowledge it and believe and have faith in it, that everything will work out because it's what you send out and you will get a response. It's the law of resonance. It's the law of attraction. If you keep worried and if you keep living in a state of punishment, that's all you. And you will get a reflection of that in your physical reality. And that's you also having a best friend, which becomes the metaphor for the devil. And that's also, well, it's your worst friend. That's the darkness, the dark lord. And you don't have to make this into something biblical or like that guy, or it's just metaphors. It is teaming up with the light or teaming up with the darkness. That's all it is. The universe is both, and it's just constantly available for you and asking in nuance, of course, but more or less, would you like more white or would you like more black? Would you like more love or would you like more fear? More illumination, more darkness. Your choice. What would you like to have? Because for God, universe, the source, there is nothing that is actually negative or positive in that aspect, because a tree that falls in the woods needs to decompose and become soil and to fertilize and actually be a part of the rejuvenation and the new forest that is growing and becoming. And that can seem extremely dark. That can seem like complete darkness, but it's actually super positive in that aspect, in that context. So everything is depending on the context. So what context are you putting yourself in? What context are you entertaining yourself in your own perception, having your own human experience? Are you already a decaying tree, or are you a tree that has endless possibilities and will grow into a magnificent, beautiful tree, unique to be experienced and loved by other people, just as you love and adore yourself as you are, your unique creation, expression, not in comparison to anybody else. That beautiful tree is not standing there in the woods in condescending remarks regarding all the other trees. It is just a beautiful tree, and the tree right next to it can feel just as beautiful as it is. It is just us human beings who put ourselves in comparison to others instead of focusing on actually loving and appreciating ourselves, which we are being helped with if we stop listening to the judgmental mind and others and actually listen to the source of unconditional love, who is just raising us like an atom bomb that can be visible from the moon if you look at the earth in positivity, not in destruction. team up with the light. Whenever I do, I feel celebration, I feel love, I feel possibility, I get hope, I get belief, I get faith. And then that drops again when the darkness returns. And then I pray, and then I praise, and then I acknowledge again, and then I come back again. And it's the more I do this, the more I experience change in life. I understood this thing some time ago, but I have also heard it from other people. The universe is light versus dark. It's like the universal war going on that never ends. And it's just what side you are on. And if you choose to be a person of light, and if you choose to do that in a grander scale as you are having an ambition to make a change, then darkness will come after you. That's inevitable. You will not say, I will be a spokesperson for love, and I want to shine my light like this, and to be such a bright light in the world as to make a change without getting the demons after you. And that's the challenge. So if you feel like you aren't cut out for actually handling all of the challenges, which actually demands you connecting to God as often as possible, then I would suggest to lower that light and try to not be visible from the moon, but visible in your city, perhaps. To be a light like that. And that can be an international light also, as it gets attention from being such a lovely, helpful addition to the universal war on light versus dark. So you can help others to realize that what creates everything is a connection to our mutual best friend, who is a spirit that some of us call God, some of us call Source, some of us call Universe, some of us call Abraham, some of us call Allah, some of us call Brahman, some of us call Octo. Doesn't matter. It's your best friend that can solve anything in any way at any time, as long as you keep the faith. Best friend. Listen to P. Diddy's song, Best Friend. That's a beautiful song. I love you.